take inside of you has a lot to do with what you actually become as a person. Okay, and we have a lot of gates. We have a couple gates as human beings through which we absorb things from our environment. And one of those gates is our eyes, and directing it to, of course, the online space. You use your eyes to scroll through your phone, using the internet here and there, and you're exposed to different kind of information, different kind of content. And then there's this subtle thing about addiction, the thing of you just getting too much attached and addicted to the content you're feeding yourself with online. Even if those contents are negative, you just realize that you just cannot remove yourself from them because there's a level of addiction that grows. So how do these things affect one mentally? Of course, if constantly you are getting exposed to, of course, there's no lack of negative news online. Trust me, if you want to be sad, if you just want to, like this, go into depression, go online and start checking the news, what's going on in the country, what's going on in the continent, what's going on in the global space, you will see a lot of things that's going to make you very sad. Fear of missing out, and this affects literally all age groups, but of course we're going to be focusing on the young persons. So there is a lot of tendency to go online and literally feel like you are not making any progress. You literally feel like every other person is better than you because of what you see they post, right? And you just conclude that I'm literally the worst person living, like I'm just a very stagnant human being. Everybody's progressing, and what you do not know is that everybody posts their best lives online.
Away from having all of your secrets exposed and all of your identity out there. I'd say, for example, with your NIMN, do you remember the places you've written out that number? Right. And a lot of people run organizations where they don't manage their data well, so it's not entirely up to you. Stakeholders like ourselves put people at risk. And most of the worst data breaches are when organizations lose their data, and it happens all the time. Canva has had theirs. If you go out and check, have I been pawned? It's a free website, you can go check. You see how many times your passwords have been given out. And sometimes these people, out of obviously compliance policies, send you messages saying, okay, go and change your passwords. What has been lost cannot be regained. Every one of us, we make mistakes, we've gotten overconfident, we've gotten too comfortable with certain people. Oh, it's expected I put my NIN here. You just do go ahead and do it. So I'm not saying this to scare you, and I don't think that saying is there to scare you, to remind you of how fragile we are and our identities are. So when it comes to misinformation, I think the one way to counter it is you who has the right information, just be as viral. That's one way. Most of these platforms have put together mechanisms, say, oh, if you see it be forwarded several times, ignore, it's most likely misinformation, or we'll do a quick Google search. But as time goes on, it's even harder to even trust Google, because we put that information up on Google. Right? We put that information up on Google. So I think you have to come back to trusting first your instincts. Remember I talked about emotions. Pause. Breathe. Read it again.
Online proving is when someone tries to build an emotional connection with a minor or someone that is unsuspecting of the other person. And most times those people are usually maybe much older, but they claim that they are younger, they are age mates, and they need attention, they're looking for someone to talk to because they don't have friends, nobody likes them. And this other person is very naive and vulnerable and say, okay, I need a friend too. Let's be friends. Since I don't have friends too. My daughter will always say, I don't have friends, I have my brothers, only boys and girls. When your child starts, every now and then, I have a friend online, I want to, he needs me to talk to him or respond back to him, and you see that it's becoming that child is always going back to their phone. every little thing they want to be by their phone, or they are protecting even conversation. They are hiding their conversation. Please be worried. They don't want you to see the conversations they are having with this person. Then it's a red flag that something is going on. If your child stops confiding in you and telling you what someone is telling them, it's a red flag for you as an adult to pay attention. For our children, red flags that they can notice when this person is pretending to be younger, and if you go deep down and do a background check, you realize that this person is not younger. This person is much, much older. And the person trying to be emotionally there for us. And I've also seen adults go through the same thing, not just even kids. A lot of women are also very susceptible to things like this. Someone is not giving you attention or sympathizing with you, and someone is giving you advice, and you are now always dependent on their advice. This person is sending you gifts or gift cards and telling you, I love you, I want to be there for you, making promises of taking you to maybe to a restaurant or to trips. These are red flags.
For some people, it could just be I want to get a balance and know how to manage my online and offline activities complementarily. For others, it might actually be an issue of addiction, right? And so the very first step is acknowledging, identifying what issues that might be on the line, and then acknowledging that, oh, I have these issues. And so the way person A, with just the balance issue, be addressing it is going to be totally different from the way person B with addiction issues. How do you achieve that balance between online and offline activities? I would say it depends firstly on the age of this person we're talking about. There are different factors, but then age plays a huge role, because the way it's going to be curtailed in maybe a person who is below 18 is going to be totally different, from the way an adult curtails it. And also, as I said, age is just one. Then another thing is, what's your work life like? That's another factor, right? Do you work remotely? Someone who has a physical 9 to 5 is going to be handling that differently. It's a different ballgame from someone who is totally dependent on working remotely and you have to stay at your screen all day, right? So one of the things that works despite the age or other factors which we might not have time to go into is, firstly, I'll classify it into 3 factors. I call it BBC, right? So balance, boundaries, communication.
Child sexual assault material. Now, that's what we start from. Who is a child? According to the Child Rights Act of Nigeria, when you are under 18, you're a child. So now, sexual, like creating sexual content, be it videos, be it images, be it text, be it audio, materials that involves those child. So there are other things like overloads, image sexual abuse. That's what we go to others. But CSAM is focused on children, anybody that's below 18. Now, the final question, it was a deliberate act that he was the one involved about it, and he found a mentor for the child online and he was creating that content based on what he's seeing for that child. Now, so the question is, what form do they come as? I mentioned already. So CSAM can come in form of a text. Now, there are books that the content are child sexual assault oriented, and there are people who consume such content. That's what we are coming into. The world whereby you have a child and you are deliberately posting about that child that this is what God has given to me.
What are the signs that will make you know that a person actually is problematic this gambling. First is preoccupation with gambling. So when you see a person who is always thinking about gambling, always doing things around gambling, actively gambling or always talking about it, that's a sign. Also, if you see a person who needs to play some more to maintain a level of high, like I said earlier, that's a sign also for you. You see also people who are failing, they're trying to stop their gambling, but they're unable to stop it. It also shows you a sign that this person is problematic with gambling. Again, when you see somebody who has failed with endeavor to stop gambling, and then when that period when he's stopping, you see that he has anxiety, he's depressed, you know that he has a problem. Now, he's trying to stop it, but the period that he's not gambling is unstable. It shows you that he's a problematic gambler. There are also people who continue to spend the money that they could have, and they are lying to their important orders about finances, about their whereabouts, about what they're doing with their devices. It should be a sign that there is something wrong around gambling. Also, when you see somebody who does not mind losing important relationships, or you are beginning to skip important activities like school programs, like work, you had clients who lost 2 banking jobs, to gambling. That already shows you that there's a problem with this gambling.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events, and interviews across business, tech innovation, and lifestyle, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.